Watch this every day and change your life in 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. Are you living the life you were born for or the life you settled for? Because every day you wake up with two choices: to stay where you are, or to step into the person you are meant to become. Les Brown once said, "Shoot for the moon, because even if you miss, you'll land among the stars." But most people aren't even aiming. They're letting fear write their story. They're waiting for perfect conditions, waiting for someone's approval, waiting for the storm to pass. But guess what? The storm is part of the journey. If you want to change your life in 2025, you can't wait for change to happen. You have to be the change. You have to wake up every single day and remind yourself, I am powerful beyond measure. My dreams are valid. My time is now. You have to feed your mind with thoughts of victory, your heart with unshakable faith, and your life with bold action. Every day you must stand guard at the gates of your mind. You must refuse to let doubt in. You must declare, I am not a prisoner of my past. I am a creator of my future. In 2025, your life can be unrecognizable, but it starts with the choices you make today. Will you choose to settle, or will you choose to soar? Will you let fear define you, or will you let your dreams drive you? It's your time, your moment, your life. Step up, show up, never give up. Your mindset is your greatest asset. It is the lens through which you see the world, the internal compass that guides your decisions, and the silent force that either propels you toward success or quietly holds you back. Every thought you think carries a weight, a direction, and a potential to shape your life in ways you might not even realize. When you wake up in the morning, your thoughts begin to define your reality before you even take your first step out of bed. If your first thought is filled with worry, frustration, or fear, that thought plants a seed in your mind. A seed that, if watered by your focus, grows into your actions, your habits, and eventually, your life itself. Your mindset is not just a passive reflection of your circumstances. It is the architect of your future. What you believe about yourself becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you tell yourself you're not smart enough, strong enough, or lucky enough, your mind will filter out opportunities that contradict that belief, and you will stay exactly where you are. But if you decide, truly decide, that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you are resourceful, you will start to see possibilities that were always there but hidden from your awareness. The world does not change, your mind does. When your thoughts shift, your world follows. That is the quiet power of the mind. It is not about denying reality or pretending challenges don't exist. It is about choosing to see yourself as someone who can rise above them. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger. Every setback a chance to learn. And every day a fresh page on which to write your story. But the pen is in your hand, and the ink is your mindset. People often ask how to build confidence, how to find motivation, how to stay disciplined. The answer is simple, yet profound. It begins in the mind. The most disciplined, successful people in the world are not necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They are the ones who have cultivated a mindset that refuses to accept defeat as final, that sees failure not as an end but as a stepping stone, that believes there is always a way forward. They understand that their thoughts create their emotions, and their emotions drive their actions. By mastering the thoughts, they master their lives. This is not something that happens once and for all. It is a daily practice, a discipline of choosing empowering thoughts over limiting ones. The mind is a garden. If you do not plant flowers, weeds will grow. You must guard it fiercely, nurture it daily, and choose to believe in the possibilities of your life. Success is not accidental. It is not something that happens by chance or luck or by waiting for the stars to align in your favor. Success is intentional. It is designed, crafted, and pursued with purpose. The people who achieve their dreams do not sit back and wait for life to hand them opportunities. They create them. They wake up each day with a sense of direction, a focus on what matters most, and a determination to take action. no matter how small or imperfect that action may be. They do not wait for the perfect moment because they know there is no such thing. The perfect moment is the one you decide to make perfect by starting, by trying, by moving forward even when you are unsure. Success begins with clarity. If you do not know what you want, how can you possibly get there? You must define your vision, clearly, specifically, vividly. You must know what you are working toward, not in vague terms, but in concrete, detailed pictures that you can hold in your mind. When you have a clear target, you can focus your energy, time, and resources in one direction, rather than scattering them across 1,000 distractions. That clarity acts as a filter, helping you say no to the things that do not align with your purpose and yes to the things that move you closer to your goal. Every small step matters. Success is a series of consistent, often unglamorous actions taken every day. It is showing up when you do not feel like it. It is pushing through when it gets hard. It is staying committed to the process even when the results are not immediately visible. People often underestimate the power of small, daily habits. They think success comes in big breakthroughs, in sudden strokes of genius, or in once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. But the truth is, success is built in the small moments. The quiet decisions, the discipline to do what needs to be done when no one is watching. That is how success is created, not in one grand moment, but in a series of intentional choices stacked over time. It is not enough to wish for success. Wishing will not bring it closer. Wanting it badly is not enough either. Success comes when you combine desire with discipline, when you match vision with action, when you back up your dreams with the hard work of turning them into reality. This is the difference between those who talk about their goals and those who achieve them. The achievers are the ones who have decided, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that they are willing to pay the price, to do the work, to sacrifice comfort for growth. They are the ones who take full responsibility for their lives, who stop blaming circumstances or waiting for someone else to make it happen. They step into the arena, face their fears, and take action, again and again. Every day is a new opportunity to move closer to your goals, but it is also a test of your commitment. Are you willing to do what it takes, even when it's hard, even when you're tired, even when it feels like you're not making progress? Are you willing to stay focused on your vision, even when distractions are everywhere? Success requires focus, and focus is a skill that can be cultivated. You have to decide what matters most, eliminate what doesn't, and pour your energy into the things that count. It is not easy, but it is simple. Clarity, action, consistency. That is the formula. Those who master it are the ones who create success by design, not by accident. Our goals must scare you a little and excite you a lot. If they don't, they're not stretching you. They're not pulling you beyond the boundaries of what you think is possible. You see, too many people set goals that feel safe, goals they believe they can achieve without too much risk. But safe goals rarely lead to transformation. They don't demand that you become someone new. They let you remain exactly who you are. When you set goals that both excite and scare you, you tap into a deeper part of yourself. You connect with your potential in a way that challenges your comfort zone, that forces you to think differently, act bolder, and reach higher than you ever thought you could. There's a reason your heart races when you imagine a big dream. That feeling is not a sign to retreat. It's a sign to lean in. It means you're on the right track. It means you've found something that matters. When you pursue a goal that scares you, you'll find yourself standing on the edge of uncertainty. And that's where growth lives. The space where you're not quite sure how it's going to happen, where you have to rely on faith, creativity, and resilience. That's the space where the magic happens. Every time you take a step toward that big, scary goal, you build the muscle of courage. And courage, much like any muscle, grows stronger with use. You'll discover that what once seemed terrifying becomes manageable, even routine. And once you've achieved one big, scary goal, you'll realize that the limits you thought existed were only in your mind. That realization unlocks a whole new level of confidence, a belief that you are capable of far more than you once imagined. The question is not whether you are ready, it's whether you are willing. Willing to take the risk, willing to face the fear, willing to keep going even when it gets hard. The people who achieve extraordinary things are not those who wait for the fear to disappear, but those who feel it and act anyway. Excitement is the fuel that keeps you moving. It's what gives you energy when you feel like giving up. It's what pulls you through the moments of doubt and fatigue. When you're working toward a goal that excites you, you don't need to be pushed. You don't need someone to remind you why you started. The vision itself pulls you forward. It becomes a magnet for your focus, your energy, and your determination. You wake up in the morning with a sense of purpose because you know you're building something that matters. That's why your goals must do both. They must scare you so they push you out of the small, safe version of yourself. And they must excite you so they light a fire inside you that doesn't burn out at the first sign of struggle. When you align your goals with what truly excites you, you create a life that is not just successful, but deeply fulfilling. It's easy to set goals that look good on paper but don't stir your soul. Those goals might impress other people, but they won't sustain you. The goals that matter are the ones that make your heart race, the ones that challenge you to grow, and the ones that feel just a little bit out of reach. Those are the goals that change your life. And it's not just about the goal itself. It's about who you become in the process. When you set a goal that scares you and you go after it with everything you've got, you build resilience, courage, and belief in yourself that no one can take away. You learn how to face fear, how to overcome obstacles, and how to keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. That is the real reward. Not just the goal achieved, but the person you become on the way there. Your time is now, not someday. Too many people live their lives waiting for the right time, the perfect conditions, the moment when everything lines up just so. But life doesn't work like that. There is no perfect time. There is no magical moment when all the lights turn green and the road ahead is clear. If you wait for that, you'll be waiting forever. The truth is, the time to start is now. Not when you feel ready, not when you have all the answers, not when you've perfected your skills. Now, in the middle of the uncertainty. Now, when you feel scared. Now, when you have doubts. Because it's in the doing that you become ready. Action breeds clarity. Action builds confidence. Action creates momentum. The longer you wait, the more your doubts grow, and the more you convince yourself that you're not ready. But readiness is not a state you find. It's a state you create by stepping into the unknown. Every day you delay is a day you can't get back. Time is your most precious resource, and it's slipping away whether you act or not. Waiting for the right time is an illusion. There is no guarantee of tomorrow. The only time you have is now. The decisions you make today shape your future. The habits you form today determine the life you'll have a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. You cannot change the past, but you can decide, in this moment, to take control of your future. That decision starts with action. It starts with doing something, no matter how small, that moves you closer to your goal. That small step, taken consistently, is what creates the big results over time. It's easy to underestimate the power of small actions, but they compound. Every choice you make either moves you forward or holds you back. The question is, which will you choose? You have to be willing to begin before you're ready. The perfect moment won't come. You have to create it by moving forward, even when you don't feel fully prepared. That's how progress happens, not by waiting for the stars to align, but by showing up and doing the work day after day. Consistency beats perfection every time. Those who succeed are not the ones who never make mistakes, but the ones who keep going despite them. They understand that growth is messy, that mistakes are part of the process, and that every failure carries a lesson if you're willing to learn. The fear of not being perfect holds so many people back, but perfection is an illusion. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to be in motion, to be learning, to be evolving. Progress comes from doing, from taking that imperfect action today, not waiting for some hypothetical future when you'll magically have it all figured out. When you act now, you give yourself the gift of momentum. Momentum is a powerful force. It makes the next step easier. It builds confidence, it creates opportunities, and it opens doors you couldn't see from where you started. The first step is often the hardest, but it's also the most important. It's the moment you shift from thinking to doing, from planning to executing, from dreaming to living. Once you take that step, the path becomes clearer. Because you're moving, you adjust, you learn, you grow, but none of that happens unless you start. So ask yourself, what's one small action you can take today to move toward your goal? Then take it, no matter how imperfect. The time to act is not someday. It's not when you feel ready. It's not when everything is perfect. The time is now, in the middle of the uncertainty, in the face of the fear, in the presence of the doubt. Because now is all you have, and it's enough. Pain and setbacks are not the end of the journey. They are the beginning of transformation. Every challenge you face, every failure you experience, every disappointment that cuts deep into your heart, they all carry within them the seeds of growth, but only if you choose to see them that way. Pain is often misunderstood. People try to avoid it, to escape it, to pretend it doesn't exist. But pain is a powerful teacher. It shows you what matters. It reveals where you have been complacent, where you have been holding back, where you have been playing small. Pain demands your attention. It is a signal, a wake-up call, a reminder that you are alive and capable of change. When you stop running from pain and start learning from it, you unlock a depth of wisdom that no book, no course, no seminar can give you. Setbacks are not failures in the way people often define them. They are part of the path. Every person who has ever achieved something meaningful has faced setbacks, moments when they stumbled, when things didn't go as planned, when they were knocked down. It is not the setback that defines you, but how you respond to it. Will you see it as a sign that you're not good enough, or will you see it as feedback, as information to adjust your strategy, to improve your skills, to refine your approach? The truth is, setbacks are inevitable. No one climbs a mountain in a straight line. There are detours, obstacles, storms. There are times when you feel like you're moving backward, when you wonder if you're making any progress at all. But if you keep going, if you learn from every fall, you grow stronger. You become more resourceful. You build grit. Pain and setbacks teach you resilience, but they also teach you empathy. When you've faced hard times, you develop compassion for others who are struggling. You understand what it feels like to be at rock bottom, to have a dream, fall apart, to feel lost. That understanding makes you a better leader, a better friend, a better human being. It helps you connect with others on a deeper level, to offer support not just from a place of sympathy, but from shared experience. Your pain, when transformed, becomes your power. It becomes the story you tell, the wisdom you share, the light you shine for others who are walking through their own darkness. People often try to avoid challenges, thinking that a smooth, easy life is the goal. But the smooth path rarely leads anywhere worth going. It is the challenges that force you to grow. It is the struggle that shapes your character. If you want to build strength, you must lift the weight. If you want to develop patience, you must face delays. If you want to become wise, you must be willing to learn from mistakes. Life's difficulties are not obstacles to your growth. They are the very conditions that make growth possible. They are the fire that forges you. And if you embrace them, if you lean into the struggle rather than shrinking back, you will emerge stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the opportunities that await you. Pain is also a teacher of gratitude. When you go through hardship and come out the other side, you appreciate the moments of joy, the small victories, the simple pleasures. You stop taking things for granted. You develop a deeper sense of humility, an understanding that life is fragile and precious. Pain strips away the unnecessary, the superficial, and brings you back to what truly matters: family, health, purpose, love, contribution. It refines your perspective. It teaches you to be present, to cherish the people, and the moments that make life beautiful. Without the contrast of pain, you would not fully appreciate the sweetness of joy. It is in the darkest nights that the stars shine the brightest. Action is the bridge between your dreams and your reality. Without action, dreams remain in the realm of fantasy, beautiful, inspiring, but unrealized. It is action that brings ideas to life, that transforms possibility into progress. Too often, people get stuck in the cycle of thinking, planning, preparing. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect conditions. But waiting is a trap. There will never be a perfect moment. There will always be uncertainty, always a risk, always a reason to hesitate. The difference between those who achieve their goals and those who don't is simple. Those who succeed take action, even when they don't feel ready. They move forward despite the fear, despite the doubt, despite the obstacles. They understand that clarity comes through doing, not just through thinking. Every step you take teaches you something. Every action you take builds momentum. Action builds confidence. You cannot think your way into confidence. You must act your way into it. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. You silence the voice of doubt not by arguing with it, but by taking action that contradicts it. Action is the evidence that you are stronger than your fears. It is the habit that builds discipline, the fuel that powers your progress. When you take action consistently, you create a rhythm, a flow, a forward motion that carries you through challenges and setbacks. Action creates results, and results build belief. It is a cycle that feeds itself. Action creates results. Results build belief. Belief fuels more action. The mistake many make is waiting for motivation to strike before taking action. But motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. If you rely on motivation, you will only act when you feel like it, and that is not often enough to build anything lasting. Discipline, on the other hand, is built through action. You show up because you made a decision, because you committed, not because you feel inspired. And often, when you act despite not feeling motivated, the motivation follows. Action creates energy. It creates a sense of progress, and progress itself is motivating. The key is to start, even when you don't feel like it. To do the work, even when you're tired. To push through the resistance, knowing that what lies on the other side is growth. It's easy to overthink, to analyze, to plan endlessly. But thinking without action is just dreaming. Planning without execution is procrastination in disguise. The real learning happens in the doing. The lessons you gain from action are far more valuable than the theories you read about. Action gives you feedback, immediate, real, and practical. It shows you what works, what doesn't, and where you need to adjust. It keeps you moving forward, even when progress feels slow. Small actions, taken consistently, compound over time into extraordinary results. One day, you'll look back and realize that the life you built was not created by one big dramatic moment, but by the accumulation of small, imperfect actions taken day after day. You are always one action away from a breakthrough. One decision, one bold move, one step into the unknown. You never know which action will be the one that shifts everything. That's why you must keep moving, keep trying, keep showing up. When you stop waiting for perfect and start acting on good enough, you unlock doors you didn't even know were there. The path becomes clearer as you walk it, but only if you take the first step. Action is the bridge from where you are to where you want to be. It is the key to transforming your life, not someday, but today.